Hey, yo, Maya. This is a creepy ass house, yo.
Yeah, you're telling me?
Oh, look at that creepy ass camera.
Oh my god, look at that thing!
Pick it up.
Why?
You know how these games are. Pick it up and there's a tutorial how to use it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey guys,
Huh?
how's it going? Cartoon Carl here, back again with another tutorial. How we all doing? Alright. So, you want to play Project Zero 2, also known as Fatal Frame 2, in VR? Got you covered. Okay, so as always, open up your Dolphin. Right click on the game. Go to Properties. Copy what I have in the description and paste it in. Close it. Okay, so let's go over some ways we can enhance the gameplay for ourselves. Alright. So this is very similar to how we handled Fatal Frame 4, Project Zero 4 in VR. So I would actually recommend you watch that video also, at least the tutorial. A lot of that translates perfectly to this game also. Okay, so right off the bat it was both a blessing and a curse, as both games were on the same engine, but they handled almost entirely differently in some areas. So one of the things you will notice is the 2D screens. They're a little off and to the right. Well, that's because to get a first-person perspective, that's what I had to do with the camera. And unlike Fatal Frame 4, I couldn't adjust those 2D screens any more than they could be. So while it looks really, really natural in Fatal Frame 4, not so much in Fatal Frame 2. So okay, one of the ways around that, positional tracking, you guys. Room scale is your friend in this game. Okay, so simply move in your play space. Get yourself in line with the screen. When you get back in gameplay, simply recenter yourself. That's it. Quick and simple hack. If I can figure out a way of recentering that screen even more, I will update it. Also, so just like in Fatal Frame 4, the camera position doesn't save for up, down, left, or right, only forward and back. So to get around that issue, again, just like Fatal Frame 4, and I implore you to watch that tutorial as a lot of that is relevant to this, press and hold the Shift key and the Q key 5 times. That'll get your height. Then press the Shift key and the A key once. That'll get you centered. Alright. So you'll only have to do that if you power down Dolphin and power back up again. Otherwise you're golden. Okay, so another thing that didn't work out so well in this VR conversion, some of the textures will only render in black color. I have no idea why this is. I have tried every combination of setting, every offset, everything you can think of I've tried. But for some reason, some floor textures, even sometimes the player characters themselves, will appear all black in certain areas. You exit, you re-enter, it's fine. I got no idea why that is. If I can figure it out, of course I will update it. Now go to settings. Copy what I have exactly for the best experience. Pause the video if you need to. Oh, wait. Okay, moving on. That's it. You're ready to experience the game in VR. Alright. See y'all in game. Woo-hoo!
Okay, I guess we're ready to play then.
Oh no, screw this, you're on your own.
VRified Games.
What's up, player? Yeah, the living dead talking head. Coming at you live with Daigo of VRified Games. How you doing, Daigo?
Hello, Ed.
So what are we doing today, my man?
Well, Ed, it's spooky season.
Halloween, baby.
You got it. So, okay, we had a really good experience getting Project 04 / Fatal Frame 4 in VR with Dolphin VR. And I figured, gee, let's try Project 02, which is, in many people's opinions, the best title in the Fatal Frame series. And sure enough, that has a Wii version. Not exactly the same as the critically acclaimed version for PS2 Xbox, but it's the same damn story, and it's pretty close. It's pretty close. In many ways better, in many ways not. It's a weird toss-up. Which version is better, that depends on the person. It's very, very subjective, but I mean, it's the same with any original remake, really, isn't it? So,
Stop rambling, man.
yeah, okay, sorry.
Mayu, you remember our promise? You know, I'll never leave you. Mayu. Mayu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We used to play here a lot, didn't we? Yeah. It'll all be gone soon. Your leg. It's not sore, is it? Only a little. I'm okay. Listen, Mio. Hmm? Never mind. Come on, wait! Mio! Wait for me! Mayu, you know that time... Mayu? Mayu! What are you doing? Stop! Mayu! Mayu! Mayu?
So yeah, so we had such a good time, like getting Fatal Frame 4. Now that was a mission, just to get that up and running in VR, and looking the way we got it took weeks. Luckily, Fatal Frame 2 / Project 02, same engine, same emulator, so it was relatively easy porting that over. Now it didn't work in all cases, and I'm sure Carl will go over it, but there are some textures that only render in black. I have no clue why, no clue. It doesn't take away from it all that much really, but it would be nice to have all textures render correctly. But anyway, you can see in the gameplay video and judge for yourselves. Getting the first person perspective was fine. However, the 2D screens, they're not as malleable in terms of adjustment as they were in Fatal Frame 4, so there is a little issue there, and Carl's got a tip of using room scale to your advantage, so watch his tutorial. Yeah.
No, fuck that guy.
Come on, man.
What? He's creepy. Big bug-eyed avatar motherfucker.
Ed. Ed.
Alright.
So, okay, in the Fatal Frame 4 video, I did go over quite extensively the Fatal Frame series as a whole, so I'm not going to do that again. But I suppose I'll go more into Fatal Frame 2 / Project 02, which is what we're covering today. So, originally, it was released on PS2 under the title Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly. In other parts of the world, it's Project 02 Crimson Butterfly. Again, this is one of those games that has two names depending on what region you're in. Just like Resident Evil / Biohazard is what it is. So it was released on PS2. You know, Fatal Frame.
Forgive me. Please. Forgive me. Where are we? Mayu? The lost village. I heard about something like that happening a long time ago. A village in this area disappeared on the day of a festival. I heard that people who got lost in the forest were lured there. Maybe we found that village.
The original Fatal Frame, also released on PS2, picked up a pretty loyal fan base. Never really caught quite mainstream, but this was around the time when survival horror was still relatively new, coming off of PS1. So, you know, people were still hungry for titles in it, so it did relatively okay. But the second game, this is when the team got full creative freedom, and you can tell it's amazing. Yeah, that game just rocketed it into the stratosphere in terms of potential and what this series could be. You play that game, that's the pinnacle. That is the pinnacle of Fatal Frame. That is what it is. So what is it with Part 2s? Like Silent Hill 2, that's also regarded as one of the best in the series. Resident Evil 2. It's a weird correlation. But yeah, anyway. So that gets released.
I could hear someone singing just a minute ago. But now there's no one here.
Does really, really well. Xbox kind of takes a look and goes, I want a slice of that survival horror pie, you guys. So they went and they had a talk with the guys over at Toy and said, hey, we want your game. We want your game on our console, but our console is based on DirectX, you guys. We can do so much more than what PS2 can do. Let's take advantage of that. So the guys went, okay. What can we do here? So they had many ideas and sections that they had to cut from the PS2 version, just for technological reasons more than anything else, but there was also some creative headbutting over at Sony with what they can and cannot do. Xbox, not so much. They actually wanted a product that was more unique for their system, that, you know, fans of the series might go, okay, let's look at this Xbox version rather than the PlayStation version because it's got more bells and whistles. So some cut content was restored for the Xbox version, and also the inclusion of a first-person perspective. Now, first-person perspective games were huge at that time. Like, this is just coming off the bat of Battlefield, of Call of Duty, the originals, and people were hungry for it, you know. Adding a first-person perspective for the American audience made sense, because that's what sold in America. That's how you got Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly, the director's cut. Yep, again, did really well, sold really well.
Are they graves?
Huge loyal fan base. It was great. Now that was the first and last Fatal Frame game to appear on the Xbox consoles until Maiden of the Black Water, like almost 20 years later, which itself was a re-release. So that was, you know, the last Fatal Frame game to release during the Xbox's life cycle.
Shall we head down to the village, Mia?
And yeah, then you went on to Part 3, The Tormented, and so on, which continued with Sony, and then later on with Nintendo, picking up the series for Part 4 onwards. That's pretty much the story of Fatal Frame 2. So anyway, picking up with the remake, which is what we're playing right now, Fatal Frame 4 releases on the Wii. It never got a Western release, but it did so well over in Japan and those regions. Quite possibly down to the fact that Suda51 and Grasshopper were involved in the production of the game. Like, you can tell. Not only that, but they changed a lot. Like, looking at examples that they've learned from Resident Evil 4, they changed the camera perspective from a fixed camera perspective to an over-the-shoulder camera, close over-the-shoulder. It's very similar, actually, to how Resident Evil 4's camera operates. They changed some gameplay elements, used the Wiimote to the advantage, like in terms of aiming for the camera, aiming your torch. Neat little touches like that. Again, this game suffers, now I'm talking about Project Zero 2, this game suffers from that same weird thing that Fatal Frame 4 had, whereas you hold a flashlight in your left hand, but you can control it with your controller held in your right hand. Bizarre. No idea why, but it is what it is. So Project Zero 2, same story. So yeah, Fatal Frame 4 did really well in Japan. Nintendo went, okay, we're not going to release it in the West because they could see Tormented didn't do so well. The Xbox port of Part 2 maybe didn't sell as well as they had hoped in the American market. So for whatever reason, Fatal Frame 4 did not come to the West. But it did well enough that it warranted another game for the Wii. Now that may have been a contractual thing, I don't know. But they had to create another Fatal Frame game for Nintendo. I think Maiden of the Blackwater, which is Fatal Frame Part 5, was on the cards. It was very early in development. The Wii's life cycle was winding down. So production on the Part 5, Maiden of the Blackwater, was pushed to the Wii U. However, they had an idea to just simply port/remake one of the better games. Now, remakes have done really well on Nintendo consoles.
I wonder whose it is. And these other things too. I wonder.
So you've had Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes, which was a remake of Metal Gear Solid. You've had Resident Evil Remake 1, which was a remake of the original Resident Evil. Resident Evil 0 that came off the bat of that, which is, it's a companion piece to Resident Evil Remake 1. And they did really well, like super well on the GameCube. So when it came to the Wii, they kind of thought, okay, well maybe we could do that then with the Fatal Frame. Let's remake one of the Fatal Frames. And they looked at the back catalogue and they went, not Fatal Frame 1, no, that's not going to translate so well. But Fatal Frame 2, that's right up the Japanese market's alley. And you'll understand what I mean when you play the story, it's uniquely Japanese. But yeah, it's like kind of like they struck gold with that. They had the license, let's go ahead, let's do it.
Is there anyone there?
Will you abandon me once more?
Mio, I'm here. It's so quiet.
So, keeping Suda51 and everybody from Grasshopper, same engine, same everything from Fatal Frame 4. They went to work on porting/remaking Fatal Frame 2 in that engine over to the Wii, and it's a great time. It's a phenomenal time. In my opinion, does it hold a candle to the PS2/Xbox version? Not really. It loses something. Like the original had a lot of atmosphere, a lot of grit. And that may have been down to technical limitations and kind of the artistry that they used to get around that. Something was lost in the translation from PS2, Xbox over to Wii. Not to say it's a bad game, because it bloody isn't. I love it.
Nobody here. Want to look around? Mayu! Mayu! What's wrong?
Masumi, where are you? Masumi, where did you go? The lost village. Where are you? Masumi.
I don't want to kill you.
What was? I don't know. I don't know.
I love both versions. I will play them to death, especially around this time of year, spooky season. You know it. So that was the story of Fatal Frame 2, Project Zero 2 remake coming to the Wii.
Let's not get separated, Mio.
And that brings us up to present day with Dolphin VR and getting it into VR. So there you have it. Yeah.
Rambling ass motherfucker.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a bit of a ramble, bit of meandering, but I got around to it in the end. So yeah, okay guys, watch the gameplay, let me know what you think. Cartoon Car will have a tutorial. Everything you need is in the description if you want to try this for yourselves. Any improvements that we can make, we will update the file below, we will let you know. Yeah, so now you can play Fatal Frame 4, Fatal Frame 2 in VR. Let's see if we can get any of the other titles in VR. Maybe down the line at some point. Okay. That's it for me, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any criticisms, any games you'd like me to try and VRify, put them in the comments below. We'll get back to you eventually. Most likely. Okay. VRified Games out.
Yeah. VRified Games out of your damn mind if you think I'm playing this with the lights off, you crazy ass spooky motherfucker.
This is something, at least. It's a bit cold in here. someone here. I know it. This place, it's a bit strange somehow.
This device is most dangerous.
That's...
The camera obscura. It can photograph that which should not exist. What was that? Can this be real? This device is most dangerous.
camera obscura.
Mio. Is that... Oh. Is there anyone there? Mio! There's someone here.
It's gone.
We have to get out of here.
Right.
I don't like it here, Mia. Let's go. Oh.
won't open.
Over there.